Hello, beloveds, and welcome. So, we are here doing the Awakening and Wellness. This is our third episode. I am Sherry Mosley. I am an Asian medicine, shamanic, Akashic record practitioner, and author here in Sausalito, California. And this show, we get together weekly to just go ahead and take a look at anything going on with ascension and wellness and answering your questions, which you can email me ahead of time, your questions, if you'd like, or we can just show up and answer them in the chat. So I know that there's a lot going on in the world these days. I'm just going to do a little check-in here to my email and see if there's any last minute emails. Question for today. Look at that. You guys are awesome. Okay. Okay, this is a very long question. Okay, so this is somebody having they watch all the light language videos. So this is going to be about the light language, it looks like. Having a lot of interesting experiences with the full moon, which, yes, the full moon, it's been a powerful one. Amping up the couple days before, over the weekend, definitely. All right. And so they saw something come in on the night of the full moon. So sometimes when we're going into that dream state, we can have a lot of contact happen then with other beings or interdimensional beings. All right. Though they're saying that the light was bright. Can't explain the light. It hurt their eyes. The colors were fluorescent, somewhat pink, white. She says that it felt like it transported her. Okay. That it felt very clear in her mind what was happening and that she wouldn't forget it. And she was debating about opening her eyes. So this is, a being came and visited her at night, and there was a very powerful experience of light being everywhere in the room. She said that she finally accepted when the process was going on. It's fear, but excitement. Yes, there's usually a mixture of fear and excitement when you go through these spiritual experiences because you feel the elated energy that is going on when you're coming into contact with these higher beings, angelic beings, ascended masters, interdimensional beings. You feel their energy filling the space, as well as whatever they are bringing through for you in that exchange. You'll be feeling those energies as well. Oh, and she's really wondering if anybody else has had any of these experiences. All right, so we're looking at this is an email that someone sent in about their having a connection to a being that was visiting them during the full moon in the evening. And yeah, if any of you have had any experiences like that, you can go ahead and share those as well. Me personally, I've had lots of different experiences happen at nighttime. There are two things that I will say about this. One is from the spiritual side, and one is more from the Asian medicine side. And the Asian medicine side, it views anything that's going on at night, especially in the hours, between 1 and 3. This can be more of like a liver time, and the spirit of the liver is known as the Hun. And the Hun is the spirit where we travel outside of our bodies. Okay, so if you're doing a lot of astral travel, that can be associated with that. And so sometimes if we're not getting enough animal protein or we are anemic for whatever reasons, we don't have enough blood, and the blood is related to the heart. And the heart houses the spirit in the body with the blood, and the liver is also connected to this in that the liver stores the blood. Okay. This is why our menstrual cycles are very connected with the liver as well. But in terms of sleeping, if there isn't enough blood, then these spirits can become restless and travel during the night. And so we may be more susceptible to having contact experiences, especially if you are already naturally empathic and psychic. If you have these abilities, they can almost become a little bit out of control if your chi and blood is not grounding you enough. Okay, I've had those experiences in my past. This is why I really appreciate being aware of my diet, as well as, I personally love herbs and acupuncture. It helped me a lot through my process of working with my psychic mediumship abilities, connecting with other spirits and beings. And so when we go through this, the other aspect, let's pull in, this full moon, right? She's having this happen during the full moon. So the full moon is almost just like creating this extra vortex or portal for us to have these contact experiences through. So it's just going to amp up the experience, right? So these are just things that you want to check in with. How am I doing in my body, mind, spirit? How I had insomnia for the last 2 days, haven't been getting a lot of sleep, and now I'm a little bit out of body, and now these spirits are coming in and it seems very bright. Or if things felt, pretty normal. And so it just helps you regulate the experience that you're having, right? And in terms of the experiences, yes, light filling the room. I've had experiences where the room will fill with angels. And to me, I see them more as like a blue, white light, beings being all around me. I've had that happen around my bed, either at night or in the morning. I've also had interdimensional experiences. So this is extraterrestrials showing up. Sometimes if they show up in the evenings, I'll tell them, go away, I'm sleeping right now, and let's connect another time. You always have that at a time. I don't have to sleep. But they can be very, very beautiful connections that we get, we shift to, right? And so you can definitely, it sounds like this woman that sent an email in, this is what we're discussing right now, her contact experience with, it sounds like an angelic or light being that came to visit her in the evening at like 2 a.m. During the full moon. So they're usually coming to bring you gifts, either ascension gifts or awakening messages as well. So it's always good to ask them, who are they? Who are you? And why are you here? What are you bringing me? Right? Just like we would with another human being. Okay, so sometimes we get overwhelmed when there are other spirits or beings that come into contact with us. Communication can also be telepathic. 222 on the clock. Angel numbers are always great confirmations for higher contact with the angels is occurring. All right. Just looking at her email again here. Yeah, so it just really sounds like, our callings and awakenings will happen when they are needed, when they need to, when it is in alignment for our soul to go through that experience, is when we will be visited by higher beings. Oftentimes, when they are coming in, they are really trying to give you a pretty strong message and to guide you onto your path, which is why I really encourage having some sort of dialogue with them and just trying to receive whatever they say, even if it sounds overwhelming or scary in the moment. Just see what messages come in. When I was going through my greater awakening, I guess you can call it that, I was doing a lot of mediumship, and there were a lot of beings that were showing up in my home. So there were light beings, Archangel Michael, Metatron, Ascended Master Jesus. And I write about this in my Akashic Enlightenment book. But when they come in, it can be quite overwhelming because it's just such a strong energy. And half of you is, am I making this up? Am I going crazy? Why is this happening? Right? And so it's, instead of getting caught up in the fighting against, settle into the experience. And I mean, she did a great job in documenting what occurred. right? And it will also reveal itself more as you move forward in your daily life, right? If you have a practice like Akashic Enlightenment or Shamanic Journey, oh great, what was that experience about? What messages are they bringing me? What do they want me to know? Okay, and oftentimes you get great answers, clarity about what the experience was for. And sometimes that can just be the pure reason of why we have these experiences with the higher beings, is to just get us open and communicating with the higher divine, so that we can receive what we actually need to receive in order to get onto our soul's path, right? And right now there is a lot of accelerated time happening right now. Okay, 2020 is to be a very big year of accelerating in your soul's path and journey. So if there were a time for things to be spontaneously happening, this would definitely be the year for it. So if anybody else has any experiences of being visited at night by beings, you can go ahead and share your experience. Or if you have questions in other areas, I hope we answered your question, the question that was emailed in, and we can move forward to other topics and questions at this time. We have some people saying hello, hello, Linda, and all being invited to step into our destinies right now, our higher paths. So those little invitations will come in however they need to, right? We're less stubborn at nighttime. We're in that dream state, that alpha state, right? So we're already in a semi-meditative state, even if like we wake up slightly. And so this is why they connect with us when we are in those deeper states of consciousness. We're more receptive during those times than in our waking time when we're running around doing things. So if you have a practice, great. Or if you have another subject that you have a question about now, you can go ahead and bring that question in now. Again. All right. Well, we can see what we truly value in our pure time here and why we're really here, right? There's all these little reality checks that we get, so to speak, that are allowing us to see, what am I really being called to do, right? And how am I best following that, and to expand into that joy and that light that you came here to be a part of at this time. So I hope that you are moving forward on your own paths and following that joy and that light and expressing that as the best you can right now. Because that really is what is most important, right? Keeping that joy. Of course, you can, deal with any feelings that come up that need to be cleared. But, is the glass half full or half empty? And so we're going for the half full, or the glass is full. There's so much abundance there, right? So if you missed the full moon message, it's in the full moon light language transmission that came in on March 9th. Oh, thank you. I'm just looking at the messages here. Oh, yes. I'm very grateful that you are all showing up as well, right? This is how we work together and building this light, and building this new earth, and creating this higher vibration for all of us. And it's a path that is chosen, right? We can choose how we decide to go through this world. It can be full of joy and blessings and abundance, or we can get caught up in unnecessary suffering, right? Like I say, you're always in alignment, and it's just a matter of, are you in alignment with your golden path and things are in flow, or are you being shown how to get into that flow? So if things have been a little rickety or off the mark, those are just signs of where to redirect your energy, where things are in the flow, right? And when things are in that flow is when you know you're aligning with your higher path, okay? And you'll feel that resonance within. It's not really something that can be faked or pretended. You know, you'll know, you feel that joy. Just like I feel happy. It's my joy to be able to bring forward these messages and to show up and to help you all with your path and having that contact with your higher selves and allowing that to unfold in an exciting way to show you your gifts that you're here to bring forward to the world. You know, we need all of you doing that in the best way that you can. Kindness and that understanding that we can give to each other. It's quite a blessing to be able to be a part of that. So, thank you. And if you have any questions about anything going on, you can go and bring those in. Wow, there's some strong energy coming in right now. Whee! Ah, with all those high vibes coming in. Yeah. So sometimes I don't do light language, but the energy just starts flowing in, right? And so us showing up in gratitude and coming together and just being in that connection together, it's like, you know, the purpose of like group meditation, right? We're connecting our minds to this higher frequency, this higher energy, and then we just start being filled with that energy. It's beautiful. Woo. I'm just feeling all tingly, all those light energies coming in. Just looking at the chat here, indeed, much courage, genuinely attempting to show up. Yeah, sometimes it can take extra courage to just show up. Our ego or our negative thoughts can, you know, sometimes really step in and try to pull us off that track. And we go into a place of maybe just observing those coming in and moving forward with what we know is in alignment for our highest and best anyway. I know that I go through that process. You know, just because I do all of this doesn't mean that the thoughts don't come back in. It's just a matter of what I do with them. I just try not to let them run the show anymore. You know, I just have compassion for people to counteract the higher aligned path that is there already. And we have a question here. How may we continue to ask for spirit, our inner knowing, to allow our most inner, deepest core dream to create and strive for maybe? How may we ask? Oh, well, you just ask daily. If you have a daily practice, I mean, this is why I teach Akashic Enlightenment. It is one tool that we can use to um, go into that sacred space with our higher aligned selves and to ask that very question of how can we allow ourselves to go to our deepest place, right? Oh, and they'll give you an answer, you know, and it could be very specific, and it could just in terms of actions that you need to take in this world, right? Sometimes we have things that we need to do for ourselves and for others, and we'll be guided into those actions. And sometimes it's just the asking, and then the energy will come in. When you're in Akashic Enlightenment, it'll come in. If you have like a prayer practice that you do, that, you know, that will work as well. It's just if you do something that puts you into a deeper resonant state, it's putting you into a deeper brainwave state, which both shamanic journeying and Akashic Enlightenment do. It just allows you to go into a deeper state of this active meditation to receive the answers, either in words or energy alignments, to allow us to really know who we really are and how we can continue to strive to be the best being that we can, right? What changes we may need to make in our lives or in our states of mind, right? So I hope that's answering your question. I don't know if it's George or Jorge. But yeah, it really is just having a daily practice as well. There's more energy coming in. I think we're just picking up some of the full moon energy still going on here. There's just some strong energy coming through right now, so I'm just allowing that to come in. It's actually having a lot of heat. All right, so heat can also be a sign that we're releasing a lot as well. Okay, so releasing any fears that we need to release and allowing these higher light energies to come in to create this peace for us, this calm and this alignment. Wonderful. More questions? Okay, great. Yeah. So I hope you all are continuing on your paths in the highest and best way that you can. I'm always here if you need a personal session, in the best way that you can. I'm always here if you need a personal session, and there's a lot of powerful resonant energy in there as well. And yeah, I look forward to connecting with you all next week. Again, if you have any questions, you can email those in or show up here for the questions. And yeah, more than ever, now is the time to really be connecting with your joy, following your path and that light, and allowing your greatest and your highest to be able to my greatest joy. And you feel when people are in that resonance and they're sharing it. It's coming from a genuine place, right? And so it's a great example. Even just you commenting how excited you are about things that you're doing is contagious. Just right there, that excitement and that joy, how excited you are about things that you're doing is contagious. Just right there, that excitement and that joy, people will pick up on that, right? And so then it's just an example. Right? And so then it's just an example of how we're doing that in our daily lives as well, sharing that high vibration and energy and joy of being in alignment with our lives and enjoying that. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. It's been great to connect with you, and we'll be here next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific. If you have any questions about awakening or wellness, again, you can email those in, or we'll do them in the chat. And until then, I hope that you are living your highest and best life to the best of your ability that you can, following your joy and your excitement along that path. And I'm sending you so much love and so much light and so many blessings. Enjoy your journey, and bye for now.